I've noticed you do that a lot, like using people's own logic really against them, like stating their argument and like saying like, hey, I accept your side, but now you have to see mine, kind of diffusing them completely. I notice at least the hardest thing for you sometimes is like getting them to understand their own logic and be like, hey, I like, especially on the whatever podcast, bro, I see you sometimes. I'm like, bro, like I can explain it, but I can't make you understand it.
Well, one of the kind of few gifts I think I was given, say from God or what, is that I have a lot of patience.
Yeah, you do.
I'm a very patient man, and I've always thought that if you can engage long enough in discourse with somebody, you can likely get them to see your point of view.
Yeah.
And that's worked really well for me, right? I've been able to engage with people over a long period of time, multiple mini conversations, and that has turned many people who initially hated me into big fans. In fact, once they could really understand what it is I was trying to articulate, and the things I was trying to do.
Yeah, I don't. At least my social circle, I haven't met anybody that's like, I hate Andrew Wilson. A lot of the people that, at least that I see throw shade at you, is like tone policing.
I don't like the way you said it. It hurts my feelings.
Well, they throw shade at me for that, being a stepfather, just kind of like stupid shit like that. They throw shade at me for that kind of stuff.
But that's like the light stuff. That's the easy stuff. It's like whatever. And if it bounces off you, who like really cares?
Yeah,
so,
I don't give a shit. It's never bothered me. The thing that's really funny is when people bring this up, they never really bring it up when I have an opportunity to defend myself.
Yeah.
Because when they do, they get completely annihilated. They just kind of use it as like a jab.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a little jab, little something like this. And because people misunderstand what the red pill is, so I took a challenge, right? The challenge I didn't understand what the red pill was myself, and I was ridiculing it one day, and a guy DM'd me, and he was like, listen, he said, why don't you really focus on some of the red pill creators and have some good faith conversations with them, try to understand their point of view before you ridicule it? And now the first thing you want to say when somebody says that is, you, I know everything, right?
Yeah.
But
course.
instead of doing that, I said, okay, you know what? That's a good idea. So I set up some various conversations with guys, Rollo Tomasi, other large kind of red pill creators. Another one, Alex PWF. He dealt a lot in those circles, and I would go on his channel and do debates and this type of thing. So I was able to really begin to understand the ideology, which is not an ideology at all. I liken it to just a data packet. The idea is just these are descriptors for what we think reality is, but we're not giving you any oughts for what you should do with these descriptors. We're just telling you what is true. Now, not everything that different red pill advocates say is true, of course, right? And data is going to fluctuate, this type of thing. But they really don't mean to try to give people oughts or what you should do. They're just trying to tell you what is true. And so, but because of that, there's sort of this side effect that people don't expect, which is this. If you tell people descriptors of truth, but you don't give them any oughts, right? Whatever they think they should do with that information, they ascribe to you as having told them to do that with it.
Yeah, exactly.
So for instance, if you say women don't mind if men are promiscuous, okay, but men generally seem to mind if women are promiscuous.
Facts.
What? Now, you haven't told anybody what to do here, okay? You haven't said what anybody ought to do with that information. You've just said, this seems to be the case that, every time we do polls and we look at data and we look at what the responses are, that women seem to care about this a lot more than men seem to care about this. Right. Now, a person takes that information and says, wait a second, so that means I can go out and f a bunch of chicks.
That's exactly.
And a bunch of chicks aren't going to worry about it. And so then I should do that. And then what they do is they say, well, I don't want to do that. That sounds gross. And so what they do then is say, the red pill says that I should go out and hump a bunch of chicks. So this is how they get there, right?
So true, dude.
And it never happened.
Yeah,
it just never happened. It was a complete product and fabrication of your own mind, right?
It's so funny to me. It's so
complete
true, though.
Fabrication of your own mind, but that's what happens. And so this also happens to me. It's ascribed to me often when I'll say things like, "Look, only is really bad for women to do. not just from the religious perspective, but from just the kind of data that we have on how bad the results of the lives of many of these women are as soon as they hit the wall and that kind of beauty standard goes away, and how miserable they seem to be.
Seriously.
It's something I would definitely stay away from. It's a bad idea, and you shouldn't advocate for that, right? This becomes a standard of Andrew Wilson hates women. He hates. All he does is attack women on their past, right?
Yeah.
Things like this. And it's like, no, nothing could be further from the truth. I want to see grace come to these women. I want to see reformation come to these women. I only attack women and men based on the standards they hold right now. So only what you're advocating right this second will I ever attack you on.
Yeah.
You having done something in the past and then reform from that. Great. That's the whole point of the religion I'm advocating, right?
Yeah.
Great. That's fantastic, right? And those are some like the staunchest kind of people in the trench fighting are those people.
So
the reformed Coomers. And so the thing is I'm just like, look, you're probably a reformed Coomer, dude. Like so many men and women both are, and it's like so kind of the only argument the other side has is, well, aren't you some kind of hypocrite? And it's like, well, no, I'm not advocating for this ideology right now. You are.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I do 100%.
But this is how people come into kind of these bad thought processes.
Well, it happens a lot, and especially in the manosphere, red pill content. I feel like everybody, at least some of my friends, have seen my success on YouTube and been like, dude, I can't believe you're talking about this stuff. And I'm like, what? You want your girl to have a high body count? You want her to sleep with a bunch of guys? You want her to be super promiscuous and try to Frankenstein men? That's what you want? Well, no, I don't want that. That's what I'm talking about. Like, so why do you think people have such a hard time accepting like manosphere content and red pill content? Why do you think that's such a... Is it because we're so woke now and everybody's so liberal and it's like sexual freedom and have armpit hair and crazy dyed hair? Like what do you think? What do you think? Why people are so like ruffled? Their feathers are so ruffled by this stuff.
Well, so I'm going to give you an answer that you're probably not going to like, but it's the truth. It actually doesn't have anything to do with how provocative red pill content is. It doesn't have anything to do with how provocative the stances are, though they are perhaps provocative. I would say, for instance, like ideology is far more provocative than red pill ideology.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So why is it that the result is different? Well, it has to just do with established patterns of thought. So anytime you go in, when people have established patterns of thought, think of it like a workplace. Have you ever gone into a workplace before and seen something or something different that can be done in an established process that would make the process better or more efficient?
Yeah.
I'm sure you have. Most people have. But then if you ever try to present it to a person in authority as to, how you could change the process and have them actually adapt it, the answer is likely no.
Yeah, always.
And the reason is, well, this is the established process. We do things this way. This is the way things are done. You're here rocking the boat, and now you're a problem maker, right? Now you are a troublemaker. You are a problem child. You're a person who is here to make people's lives harder. You think you're better than everyone, right? It'll turn into all of those things. And all you're really trying to do is just, hey, this process just needs a little fixing in this, and it'll make this process better.
Right.
The reason that happens is due to established thinking. Once you have people who are set in an established way of thinking, any deviation from that to them sounds idiotic. So think of it from their perspective. From their perspective, it sounds stupid. Like, assume for a second you said the Constitution doesn't make any sense, right? There's things in this that just don't make any sense. It's bizarre, and there's a bunch of shit in there we could change that would make it even better. And people will lose their minds, right? No, our entire court, the entire nation is established on these principles and only these, right? They're going to lose their minds.
Yeah, we are.
But why, right? Well, because they feel like you're attacking an entire value structure.
Yeah.
So anytime you have established thought and then somebody comes in and they rock the boat, they become a target and they become public enemy number one. And if you want to know why red pill ideology, if you even call it ideology, or red pill content creators, or whatever you want to call it, essentially the manosphere space who challenges the feminist ideal, is ruthlessly attacked only because they stand in opposition to established thinking.
Yeah.